Hello everyone, welcome to my channel proChem Academy. Now in this video I will discuss about language of chemistry from the chapter class 7 ICSE. Okay, it is 5th chapter. Okay, now let me discuss about these things. Now what is language of chemistry? Now in this chapter we will learn about some reactions, about chemical reactions. Okay, what are the changes can be there in a chemical reaction. Now for that we have to understand what is chemical reaction. Now chemical reaction, it is the process actually in which some substances will react together to form new substances. Okay, now the substances which are reacting to form the new substances are called reactants. Okay, are called reactants. Those substances which will react to form the product actually are called reactants. Okay, the substances which will react together to form new substances, they are called reactants. Okay, substances or compounds, you can say, substances which react to form new substances are reactants. Okay, are called reactants. And the new substance formed by a chemical reaction are products, are called products. So in a chemical reaction more than one product can be there, so I have written products. Okay, and more than one reactants can be there, so I have written reactants. Okay, so normally a chemical reaction can be written schematically, okay, by their formula, okay, as reactant and their product. Okay, so the representation of a chemical reaction, okay, is called chemical equation. Okay, is called chemical equation. So there we have to write the formula of the reactants or the products. Okay, normally whenever we represent our element, an element, that is the symbol of that element. Now we know that some elements will join together, they will form compound. So these reactants or products are nothing but the compounds, okay, or the molecules. So these molecules we have to represent by an equation that is called chemical equation. So here we are actually discussing about the chemical equation. Chemical equation. Okay, so in a chemical equation or chemical reaction, you can say, reactants will be there, and after reaction they will form product. So the process from reactant to products we have to show by a equation. So we have to give here one arrow that reactants are reacting together to form the products, and reaction is going on from reactant to product. Okay, when reaction is going on from reactant to product, that means reactants are forming products, so in that case we have to give this arrow. Okay, if the reverse thing is going on, that means products again forming the reactants, in that case we will give this arrow. It is reverse reaction. Okay, but some reaction you will see, in that case the reactants can simultaneously form the product, and also the product can rejoin to form the reactants. So in that case those things, it will be called as an equilibrium. That means reactant can form product and product can rejoin to form the reactants. So in that case we will use another symbol, that is the equilibrium symbol. Reactants to products. Okay, reactants to products. Now in a chemical equation we have to write the formula of the reactant and formula of the compound, formula of the product. Okay, formula of the reactant and formula of the product, that will be called as a chemical equation. Okay, say I am telling about burning of carbon. Okay, burning of carbon. burning of carbon. Now here carbon reacts with oxygen, that means it is burned in presence of oxygen, otherwise you cannot burn. Okay, so oxygen, it forms carbon dioxide. Now in this process, how I have written, it is called Ward equation. Okay, but we have to write a chemical equation, not in Ward. So here formula of carbon is an element, so symbol will be written here. And oxygen is a molecule, so its formula is O2. It forms carbon dioxide is a compound, so it forms CO2. So it is a chemical equation. Now in this chemical equation, this one is product and these two are reactants. This one is also reactant. Okay, so I hope I can make you understand about this burning of carbon. That means how we will write the chemical reaction. Carbon reacts with oxygen to form the carbon dioxide. Okay, very simple. So just note down. So this is how we can write the chemical equation. Now we are writing some of the chemical reaction. Okay, like this. Again, magnesium when reacts with oxygen. It will form magnesium oxide. Now after that we will learn about the balancing. Okay, so here I am not doing the balance. Afterwards we will study about the balancing of magnesium plus oxygen, magnesium oxide. Okay, like that. So again, this is you can see here two reactants joined together to form a product. Okay, again one reactant can be decomposed to form two products, carbon dioxide plus calcium oxide. This is calcium carbonate. Okay, it forms carbon dioxide and calcium oxide. These are some examples of chemical reaction. Okay, again here hydrogen can react with chlorine to form hydrogen chloride gas, HCl. Okay, so these are some example of chemical reaction. Now in chemical reaction, maybe two types actually. One is reversible reaction, another one is irreversible reaction. This is the one part we can differentiate about the chemical reaction, reversible and irreversible. Again, another one is there, that is called exothermic and endothermic reaction. Now we will see that in a chemical reaction, heat will be evolved. That is a kind of chemical reaction, and heat will be required actually. Heat will be absorbed. That is a kind of chemical reaction. Now the chemical reaction in which heat evolved actually, that is called heat energy evolved. That is called exothermic reaction. Now that example I have already given. That means burning of carbon dioxide is an example of exothermic reaction. That means in that case, heat will be released. So the chemical reaction in which heat is released, it is called exothermic reaction, and the chemical reaction where heat is absorbed, that is called endothermic reaction. This is one classification. Okay, and another one, reversible and irreversible. Now reversible means if a chemical reaction can go from reactant to product, or it can revert from product to reactant. Okay, that is called reversible reaction. Okay, if a chemical reaction can go from reactant to product, and it can reverse back to reactant to product to reactant again, so it is called a reversible reaction. But if a reaction is just going from a reactant to product, it cannot be back to the initial from product to reactant. It will be called as irreversible reaction. Okay, so we can classify the reaction, chemical reaction or chemical equation, chemical reaction. Okay, exothermic, endothermic. This is one classification. Heat released, heat absorbed. Okay, and again another classification is there. reversible irreversible. In reversible reaction, product can react to reactant. Okay, here product cannot react to reactant. Okay, so here are the two classification of a chemical reaction: exothermic and endothermic. Exothermic reaction, endothermic reaction. Okay, so next class I will discuss about the exothermic and endothermic thoroughly. Okay, so today's video is up to this. Next day we will discuss about some other reactions. Okay, and their properties, how they are changing actually. So if you like this video, then do like, comment and subscribe my channel. Thank you.